Week's show. Will's back, and he's here with Lem and Lloyd to talk about a year's worth of news in about a week. All this and more in episode 108 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity, episode number 108, recorded September 14th, 2015. I am one of your three talking heads this evening, Will Kelly. I'm back from vacation, while these other two handsome gentlemen, to my something, I think it's my right, we're holding down the fort while I was gone, doing shows, doing live streams. You guys were rocking it. I forgot what I'm doing. I don't know how to podcast anymore. My mic's falling apart here. But I must say, guys, I'm really happy to be back and talking Infinity with all of you and everyone out there in internet land. Everyone already knows who you are, but just in case, Lem, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing just ducky. Thank you very much for asking.
Ducky.
Yes.
Ducky. Well, that is I'm going to assume that's a good thing. And
it's a good thing. Everything's just rolling off my back.
Good. Okay. I like it. Well, welcome, buddy. I'm so glad to talk to you again once again. And thanks again for holding things down and running things while I was gone. You guys did awesome. The other person there you see is none other than Dasmy himself, Lloyd Hannison. How you doing tonight, my friend?
Doing well, Will. Nice to see your I don't know, shaggy face now. You're all growing the. I usually have the peach fuzz or the like 5 o'clock shadow, but that's you today. So
yeah, well,
like to see you're changing it up.
You know, this is called vacation lazy. That's what this is. But yeah. I don't know. It's about winter time. Does that mean the beard's about to make another appearance?
I cut everything down. Like I went clear cutting in the forest of my face a little while ago, and then I realized, hey, it's almost October 31st, which is usually when we get snow, right around Halloween. Maybe that wasn't such a great idea. So yeah, once it starts snowing, I usually get lazy and cold. So that's when my beard usually comes back.
Perfect combination then.
Exactly.
Well, awesome. Again, thank you as well for hosting last week. You guys did an awesome job.
Yeah, Lem and I had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
I always like working with Lloyd.
Sweet.
Waiting for the joke?
Yeah, I was too.
Well, no, I really like working with Lloyd. If we can get Lloyd and Logan, we can do LL and L.
Yep, I love that.
It's a Marvel reference for those of you who get that one.
It was a what reference?
It's a Marvel reference.
I don't get it, but I'll take your word for it.
Specifically toward Wolverine and Deadpool, who I want in the game.
Gotcha.
Oh! Right out of the gate!
Bringing it back around. Every time you are on camera, you have to throw a Deadpool plug because you want him in there. No, but actually, Logan's going to be on next week's show, so excited to have him back. We haven't seen him. Well, we've seen him on Periscopes, but we haven't seen him on the show since D23. So excited to talk to him next week and hear his thoughts on everything Star Wars. I'd like to say hello and welcome to everyone who's joining us on this off night for the Inside Infinity podcast. We got some old friends in there and some new people as well. Justin, how's it going, buddy? BWQ, Filtered Reality, good seeing you. Full of Gunk. Infinifan80 was saying what's up during the pre-show. James, how's it going? P-Ray and our friend Romulus and Spider-Man fan? Was that it, Lloyd? It's cut off on my screen.
Spider-Man. Spider Geek.
Spider Geek, that's what it was.
I had to pull it up. Spider Nerd. Spider Nerd. He is also in the chat room.
Oh my god. I love it. I miss our impromptu singing. Welcome everyone in the chat. If you join chat, then you too could get a theme song, custom sung just for you, as long as it coincides with a long-standing theme song of a different property.
I know 3 songs, so it has to fit in with those 3 songs. Otherwise, sorry, can't do it.
What are the other 2, or do we even want to ask?
Let's move along.
Okay. So my favorite part about last week's show was the 2 of you talking about how there was nothing to talk about.
I think we complained way too much, Lamb.
The Disney Infinity gods must have heard you, because they dropped the hammer this week with practically all the news. So we couldn't go a week without doing a show. We had some stuff happening earlier in the week, but here we are, Wednesday, giving you a show. And with that, gents, we have lots to talk about, so let's get things started. First up, we have the Toy Box Speedway release. The release of Toy Box Speedway. Let's discuss. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I finally got to play it tonight, actually, and I played all the races before the show because I wanted to be informed. But Lem, what are your thoughts on Toy Box Speedway?
I am not a racing game guy. I'm not a fan of racing games in general. There are certain games like the Burnout series, anything by Criterion, I liked. Mm-hmm. But the whole karting game thing, I wasn't really used to. I didn't like it before. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. This is seriously. I have more stressful times during this than playing The Walking Dead.
Wow.
And the seriously, I'm like, oh, stop! So, yeah. It's a good time. It's a good way to wake up in the morning.
Well, with that sort of reaction, yeah, who needs coffee? If you just got to pop in Toy Box Speedway and you're good to go.
Oh, yeah.
So Lloyd, I know you are an accomplished and a loving fan of the kart racing genre. No, am I?
Sure. No, I play a lot of kart racers. I've played, I think, most of the kart racers, from Crash Team Racing all the way to Sonic and Sega Racing to Mario Kart from the Super Nintendo on. It's a genre where if a new game comes out, I tend to pick it up. And I put this in not really knowing what to expect because the driving controls, I've yelled about them enough on live streams. Pod racing, land speeder racing, other racing. I've yelled about a lot of that stuff. So I wasn't sure what to expect. And you know what? I love Speedway. It is so much darn fun. I streamed for about an hour and a half last night. With a full chat room egging me on and cheering me on. It was so good. I got some things to say about it, but maybe we'll get into that in a second. But I'm pleasantly impressed that each of these Toy Box games have added something that I didn't really know was missing from Infinity. Mm-hmm. Because we had Kiln, but Toy Box Takeover is way better than the games from last generation. There's always been kart racing, kind of, because you could build a racetrack and put your car on it. But they did something special with Speedway. I'm really looking forward to Battlegrounds now to see what else they can add to add different gameplay types into the game.
Yeah, I mean, they did. You mentioned, so Toy Box Speedway is done by Sumo Digital, and they are the ones responsible for... was it Sega All-Star?
Sonic and Sega, All-Star Racing or Team Racing, or depending on which one it is. Yeah, and that is one of the better kart racers out there. Like Mario Kart's the king. It's on the first place podium with the gold trophy. But Sonic is really close. Like the last one that came out and it hit pretty much every console. It did really well. It changed things. It gave you some flying and some underwater stuff on top of just the normal racing, which is similar to like Mario Kart and other games have done that. But there was a nice balance between all those types of gameplay type environment things. So yeah, they definitely brought their expertise to changing the driving system a little bit in the game, and they did it really well. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm gonna let you guys discuss most of the specifics, but my short time with it this evening, and the very brief opportunity I had to play it at the Toy Box Summit. I'm not a kart racer fan myself. I haven't not consistently played a kart racer since Super Mario Kart on the Super NES. It's just because I'm generally bad at it. And yeah, there you go, Lloyd. You got it right there.
I got one. The box is there somewhere. I got to find it.
That's awesome. But I mean, I love it. That was, like you mentioned, Lloyd, there. Even in 3.0, there's been some questionable driving mechanics. Pod racing. But this this is awesome, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying the kart racing experience, and from my limited kart racing experience, which is not someone who buys the games yearly, not buys Mario Kart, I feel like it's pretty full featured. But this is where I really want to ask you guys, how do you think this compares? It's the freshman year for Toy Box Speedway. It's first time they're doing it. How do you think it compares to those kart racing only games like the Mario Karts or the Sonic Sega All-Star Racing?
Lloyd.
Okay, I was waiting for Lem to jump in. I didn't want to take the conversation over. It's interesting. There's a lot of things that it does really well, and there's some things where it could do a little bit better. The interface is kind of neat. You kind of jump right into a hub, and you're kind of driving around and doing tricks and whatnot. The lack of any sort of menu system to choose your races, so choose your karter, choose like whatever character you want, choose whatever vehicle you want. Those are kind of staples of the kart racing genre, where you kind of get to pick from a menu. It took me a little bit to figure out that there's the pads that you can actually go to, which then you can spawn whatever vehicle you want. So that took a little bit. My kids were playing, and they had no idea how to change vehicles. So like, can I drive anything but these racing cars? And I was like, yeah, you can put down a power disc if you want. So we put down some power discs and stuff like that. So that was really cool. So that was a little bit strange, but not terrible. It just took a little bit of a learning curve to get all that stuff sorted out. I like the fact that there's the 3 different race types, which basically gives you I guess a little bit of flavor to your racing. I wish that they were a little bit different. So the different races, the World Grand Prix, in both the racing and the weapon battles are the exact same. It would be nice if they kind of just shuffled them up a little bit, so at least the track order would have been different. Like, they don't have to add extra courses, but maybe just do the track order a little bit different, just to keep it fresh. But anyway, that's just a small little issue. It's almost not even worth mentioning. The only problem that I actually have with the racing is mainly from watching my kids, is from playing Mario Kart. Like, if you play Mario Kart in 50cc, unless you're bouncing off the walls like a pinball table, you're gonna come in like the top 3 pretty frequently. Like, watching my kids play Mario Kart, my daughter is a terrible driver, which that just sends chills down my spine. That she's inching closer and closer to getting a license. But she's like, bounce off the wall, bounce off the wall, bounce off the wall, and she'll fit in the middle of the pack. So when she played the Disney Infinity one, she was always coming in last, because unless you're good at driving, you make one mistake, and even on 50cc, all the cars are passing you, which is not what a normal kart racer does. There's always kind of like there's the elastic band physics and elastic band gameplay. So if you're way out in front, people catch up to you. But if you're way behind, everybody slows down. They don't want you to win too much or lose too much. And this game doesn't have that, which was kind of surprising, especially since it's a kid's game. You'd think that the 50cc would be like, if you are even like a kind of seasoned driver, you'd be able to ace gold in every single course with no problems. So that was a little bit disappointing, just from my kids watching them race and get a little bit frustrated with hitting some of the environment stuff, taking off. Like, they'll hit like a little bump and they'll take off sideways, and then they get frustrated because everybody passes them, and then they don't really seem to be having as much fun as maybe they should have. But hopefully that'll come with a lot more driving, a lot more learning.
Well, it's the Ricky Bobby theory of racing.
Yeah.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
So, that's how I'm taking it, and I've been last a lot.
Yeah. So I guess that's my chief complaint with the game. Like, it's an awesome kart racer. I love that it exists, and I'm having so much fun with it. But I wish that the 50cc, like supposed to be the easier modes, actually were easier for the kids. Because my kids, like I said, or for Bad Gamer, Lem, call it the Lem mode, where if cars pass you, they blow up. Except if they're too close to you, because they would blow up and send you off the course and make it worse. So.
That's awesome.
But yeah, see, that's the only issue that I have with the game. Other than that, I love it. Like, cool. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. Like, for $20, it's a damn good value. There's some really amazing courses. It unlocks some great set pieces that I've already been tooling around with, trying to make my own courses and things like that. It would be nice if there might be, I haven't found it, if there was a way that you could set up your own races with your own courses in that environment with like an 8-person racing using the AI of the game. But that's probably way too much for the game.
Did you unlock the Toy Box Racing tool?
I don't believe so.
I just did today. I haven't played with it. I did a race, and then it said, you unlocked the Toy Box Racing tools or whatever. And I was like, cool.
Awesome. I definitely will have to check that out. I'll have to see how I can unlock it. Because, yeah, if you could do that, I mean, that is just like super sweet icing and sprinkles and chocolate chips on the top of a very delicious cake. Because I love it. Yeah, I can't say anything else about it. It is no doubt worth the $20 for someone that is looking to extend the lifespan of their DI3 base set by a little bit, because there is so much fun to be had there.
I was someone was tweeting us today. Forgive me, I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that they're glad they're having a lot of fun with it, and it's a great opportunity to put down all those vehicle power disc that they have, and also play with the Cars characters again. And I totally agree. I mean, I think we all had our own opinions on the Cars play set, but I miss playing with those characters sometimes, and there's few reasons to do it in a game. Having this as a Toy Box game disc, it's awesome. I can put Lightning McQueen down, Mater again, and have a good time with those characters.
Yep.
Until
definitely.
Jason from Inquirer mentioned it again, I totally forgot about my Cars characters because I haven't played with them since 1.0.
Yeah.
So looks like Francesco might be going on today.
Nice. Well, cool, gents. Yeah. So, I mean, anything else you want to say about Toy Box Speedway before we move on? It's still early, but sounds like we're all kind of having a good time with it.
Honestly, the cool thing that like Lloyd just said, it expands that base set.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, well, I need to buy this game this year, this game this year, this game this year. They will sit on my shelf.
Nice.
Especially with what's coming,
Yeah.
they will sit on my shelf if I buy them right out. So
that's awesome.
I will probably wait, except for one. I have to get Halo right away.
Yes, me too, buddy.
Yeah, that's the one complaint that a lot of people are saying is like, I don't want to wait for this stuff. I want it all at once. I want everything. I think it's really smart the way Disney did this. Like, you had one of the Toy Box games. If you pre-ordered, you had one play set, and then you could buy Inside Out if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then a month later, you get another play set. A little bit after that, you get another Toy Box game. In a couple months from now, you're going to have another play set coming out. They're spacing it out really nicely, which I think is a really smart thing to keep people coming back to the game again and again and again.
Yeah, I think for a lot of the Toy Box artists out there, they were upset that so many cool set pieces were unlocked, and I mean that's one of the things I was really excited about with the game. But the cool thing I think they did do is that they didn't lock out everything. Halloween Town, as an example, they have some really cool set pieces unlocked through Toy Box Speedway, but there were already some really cool unlocks that you could get just with the base game, and so I really like that they didn't lock out everything of these new areas, like Arundel's another perfect example of that. So yeah, I think you guys are making a good point. It's awesome how they are spreading things out this time. Romulus in the chat is giving a pro tip: choose time trial and go super slow if you want to make sure to get all the three coins in each one. I'm like, that's brilliant.
That's a great tip. What do the coins actually do? If you collect all the 3 coins, do you get, like, if you get all 3 coins across all the races, besides getting the feat to do that, do you get anything special?
You unlock items. So one thing I found also kind of interesting is like an example. I unlocked right before the show started. I unlocked the 3 coins in Sugar Rush, and it unlocked like an Arundel thing. I'm like, that's kind of neat. I was expecting like Sugar Rush, and then a few races later, I played another like San Francisco or something, and I unlocked the Sugar Rush items there, and I'm like, that's kind of sweet.
Aha! See what you did there.
I didn't mean to with it. I mean, yes, I meant to. Awesome, guys. Well, that's cool. Really glad it's here. Now you can unlock everything in the game, I believe. Everything that we know about, anyway. I mean, as far as from the toy store. So that's something that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the only tricky thing is you need one of those bands from a cruise if you want to get all that cruise stuff. That seems to be the stuff that a lot of people are missing, unless you have friends that have gone on a cruise.
Yeah, or a special power disc if you want to unlock something else. But that's a character modifier, so that doesn't count.
Shush you.
Look at them. All right, my bad. Let's move on, gents. This next piece of news is coming at us from DizKingdom.com. So we've known about the light effects figures, so the lightsaber lighting up figures for Disney Infinity, and looks like we finally have a kind of a release date anyway. Best Buy brought up pre-order for Anakin, the light effects figure. And the release date for that is December 1st. So it looks like it's going to be just in time for Christmas, which is pretty exciting.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't know. Is there a price on it? I think it was.
Yeah, $14.99.
A buck more.
Yeah. Yep. What do you guys think about that? I think
it's a good idea. But for those of us that couldn't wait to buy the characters, like I have my Yoda and my Obi-Wan right now. I have my Kanan. Who else has a lightsaber? Darth.
Mm-hmm.
And does Ezra have a lightsaber or a blaster?
Both.
Or does he have a light blaster?
I think. Well, I'm
trying to think of his figure right now. I can't think of it in my head. I think he has one.
It's with the lightsaber.
Okay. So I will probably get a light effects Ezra if they have one. And a Darth, but because I was like, I have to have my Jedi now, and because I'm frugal, I'm buying one Jedi. You know.
Yeah.
So I will probably wait for Maul with the light effects, because is Maul getting a light effects?
They said they're having engineering issues with it, having both sides of the saber glow. But maybe they'll figure that out.
Yeah, if they do one, it'll be a Maul, an Ezra, and a Darth.
Cool.
So, I don't know. I think the dollar premium, I feel like they could charge a lot more for this. And it's kind of them saying, well, we know a lot of you are probably going to buy doubles, so we're only going to up it a buck. Yeah.
See, that's kind of my thought. I bought all the crystal variants just because they're another character to collect, and I don't mind having extra characters to put on display. The one thing that I don't want to say hate, because that's super strong. The one thing that I kind of dislike is the fact that I've gone through most of the game already with the current Jedi. I've leveled them up, so I'm going to buy these characters because Disney Infinity. But I'm not going to be able to use them that much, so I won't be able to see the glowing lightsabers. I hope that Disney finds some way to work with a partner and come out with display cubes or something that will trigger the light effects. So have some sort of power source that will basically turn on the RFID and turn on the LEDs that are in there. Because I would want to basically have something that I can flip on and then have these displayed with glowing lightsabers. Otherwise, they're just going to look like the other figure on my shelf.
So I haven't heard of this, but Justin in the chat room is saying getting lighted bases for them as well. So maybe, or maybe that's just speculation. But I mean, that would be a really smart thing for them to do.
Because that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I would buy the $20 little base to put my $15 little figure on, just glow on my shelf, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm crazy. But yeah, I dig them. They look really cool. I wish that this was what the game came with, because that would just be such a way to wow your friends. They come over and you put a Jedi on it, and all of a sudden their lightsabers glowing. And they're like, "Oh my god, they're so awesome!" But yeah, no, I dig it. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll be picking them up for sure, just because Disney Infinity.
Yeah, kind of to piggyback on the thing that you're slightly disappointed about. I'm disappointed about the fact that I'll have gone through 2 of the Star Wars playsets by then, and these are 2 of the playsets that I'm actively using lots of Jedis, whereas we don't know as much about the Force Awakens, but Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably end up getting them all eventually as well. Probably not off the bat. I'll probably just get a few to kind of show off the cool feature. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool, and
You guys
especially
are
like
just talking me out of buying a light effects, just so you know.
no, what we just did was talk you into it because come on, having that base is going to be awesome. It's going to go perfect
But
with
Romulus made a good point. He said, um, "I'm looking at my screen, not my base."
True, true.
He's
But
got a good
it's
point.
cool. But it's cool.
yeah. You're doing it wrong then, Romulus. No, no, that actually is kind of a good point. I forget that the lights a lot of times correspond with what's happening on screen, especially in Inside Out. That's one area where I noticed, but I never see that because I'm always looking at the screen and not the base. Cool. All right. Well, that's at least we have a release date on that, December 1st. Squeeze it in there before the holiday. Well, right in the middle of the holiday buying season, so I'm sure that's going to be on lots of kids' Christmas list. Gents, I'm going to kind of go backwards here with announcements. Kind of out of nowhere, we get a bomb drop. We finally find out some information about The Force Awakens. My mind was kind of blown in this. I want to hear what you guys think.
Love him. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, when I saw the announcement and saw the extra figures, you knew that there was going to be a Kylo Ren.
Mhm.
Like there had to be, but it's like, well, is he going to have the 3-pronged lightsaber? Like, what's going to happen here? Sure enough, looks badass.
Yep.
Like black on black on black on black with just a hint of silver behind his mask. So good. All the characters look really good. I love that they look like their film counterparts. They've been Disney Infinity eyes, but they still look very close to the characters in the movie. The thing that I liked most about this was kind of the chatter on Twitter after, and seeing some tweets from Disney Infinity saying, or from JV was talking to one of the software developers saying, yeah, it's going to make a really interesting development story in the future. Because I guess they were making the playset based on the movie, but no one has seen the movie yet because it's Star Wars and super secret. So I guess they had to design a huge chunk of the playset in like a clean room where they're given assets, they're given basic storyline, and they had to kind of make their own thing by the sounds of it. I hope that story comes out after the playset hits. Because that would be a really cool kind of designer diary. How we built a game on a movie that no one has seen and no one will see until the day that it comes out in theaters. Would be really kind of cool.
Totally.
I'm pretty excited about it. Like you said, the characters look amazing, but I'm not familiar with them because I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan as some. I like it. I watch it. Matter of fact, I watched all 6 last week again.
Nice.
I did watch them in the right order, 4, 5, 6, and then you go backwards because it's a flashback. But I probably won't buy it until after I see the movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm that guy. I don't like spoilers. I don't like to know ahead of time. I wanna be surprised. So.
I hope it covers something that is kind of around the movie, but not the actual movie. Like I hope it's something that you can play before you see the movie, even though I'm going to go see it on day one. There's a friend of mine on Facebook created a Facebook page like a year or 2 years ago, and invited all the friends. Like, we're going on day one. We're going to the first midnight showing or whatever. So we've been chatting on that for like 3 years, almost 3 years now. So we're going to definitely go see it in the first day or so. At least that's my plan, barring any sort of crazy issues. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that this playset isn't like the other playsets that are basically the kind of loose tellings of the story. I hope it's something entirely different. That would be really cool.
I met up with Christopher from DisneyHolics.com yesterday, had lunch with him, and we were discussing this playset and kind of this exact issue of what is the storyline? What's it follow? And one thing he was mentioning, and I think I've talked about on the show, I know internally there's only a small group of people, or a certain group of people, maybe not small, working on the Force Awakens stuff because it is so secretive. Like you said, Lloyd, it's Star Wars. And one interesting point that Christopher brought up yesterday is that how are review copies going to happen? Rarely there's review embargoes are the norm in the industry, but what about the review copies going out prior to the release of the film? And do you think that it's even going to have review units out before the film, or just maybe day one arrival when the film releases? I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it could go either way. I could definitely see it go either way. If it's kind of an abridged telling of the story in the playset, I could see it coming out day one. If it references some of the stuff that happens in the movie but tells another side story, I don't think it's going to do that, but I really hope that it would, where it's not just the movie in game form. I could see that coming out a week early for reviewers to kind of play through and get the reviews ready.
So I'm bringing up this news from InfinityInquirer.com. Spoiler alert here. I don't really think it gives anything away, but the official kind of description of the playset. Star Wars The Force... Lem takes off his headset. Star Wars The Force Awakens playset with Finn and Rey figures. So Finn and Rey come included with the playset. Return to a galaxy far, far away alongside new heroes and old friends as they search for a much-needed ally. Finn, a soldier on a path to adventure and danger. Rey, a true survivor who is resourceful and capable. And I don't know. I mean, that's so just not specific. I couldn't think of the word.
Vague.
Vague. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. That's so vague. It could mean anything, and it could be a verbatim retelling of the story of the movie or not. And when it says alongside new heroes and old friends, those old friends could have something to do with the movie. It could have to do with all the figures you have in your collection now for Star Wars. So
I want an old Luke costume change disc.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
This is the only thing I've seen. Because I'm our social media guy, I see too much from my own taste, and I know that he's in it, and so it's good.
Awesome. Let's talk about the other things that were announced. I got to be honest, guys. The Poe figure, Poe Dameron, I'm probably mispronouncing that name. Trusted pilot of the Resistance, uses his expert flying skills to travel the galaxy. He's there. Oops, I'm not showing this on screen. There we go. I think that is my favorite character. I'm a big pilot geek, and I just think he looks awesome with his helmet in his hand and with his flight suit and flight jacket there.
Yeah, he looks crazy detailed. Love it.
Yeah, doesn't he? It's amazing. I love, hearing all the stories about the layering of the figures and stuff and how they keep getting more and more complicated. It seems like each round is kind of increasing that. I mean, take a look at, last but not least, Kylo Ren, Enforcer for the First Order, terrorizes the galaxy with his devious axe. Look at his lightsaber. His lightsaber is it looks twisted to me. I don't feel like that's a lighting thing there. I think that is like an actually twisted lightsaber kind of.
If you've seen the trailers, his lightsaber is more of like just plasma than it is like a thin piece of light like the other lightsabers. It looks like it's very flamey, plasma-y.
Yeah.
So I like how they brought some of that back to the saber in the toy as well.
Definitely, and you do have the hilt there as well, which is cool, or the guards.
Tri-prong lightsaber. It's one of the coolest things ever.
It's awesome. What do you guys think? Is this going to have a light effects figure with it, or is that going to be one of those difficult ones to make?
I think
that JV actually mentioned that on Twitter today.
And
I said difficult. They're trying to work it out. Hold on.
My bad.
I'll look it up. You guys talk. Discuss.
Cool.
I think it could happen. Actually, I think there could be light effects there. I also think that there might be a light effects version of Finn. So you have the one that comes with the game where he's posing with the blaster, and then maybe have a second light effects figure where he's holding a lightsaber, which would be really, really damn cool.
Interesting idea. We are going to be talking about variant figures in a few moments, and it totally could go along with that. I like that, Lloyd. I think you even mentioned it on a previous show before.
Yeah, that's my. If it happens, I'm taking Jade's hat of it was my idea first.
Yes. Awesome. The last bit of news here, or not news, but a piece of this announcement. There are 4 power disc, Finn's Stormtrooper costume. So we're definitely getting a Stormtrooper costume change. Poe's Resistance jacket. I assume his non-flight suit get-up, resistant tactical strike, and quad jumper. Quad jumper, does that sound like a vehicle to you guys?
Definitely.
Cool. There's no, I know the panel here, you guys can't see the images on screen, but even the box art for the retail art for the power disc, all question marks on there. So definitely hiding that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, these figures, they look awesome. The playset piece looks awesome. It might be my favorite in the Star Wars so far. I just
crystallized stormtrooper helmet looks just so good.
And a coin. I assume that's the symbol of the Resistance. But yeah, they look. This is awesome. It's coming out December 18th with the movie, so that's gonna be a cool day. Imagine going to the movie opening night, or going to the midnight showing the night before or whatever, and then coming home and playing the playset immediately after. I mean, that is gonna be a sweet experience. And I don't know if we've had that possibility yet. And Disney Infinity, has there been a release at the same time? There's been releases around then, but I don't think like day of.
Nope. Not that I can remember anyway.
That's pretty cool.
JV tweets a lot. I can't find it.
True. Well, in chat room, if you know that, please let us know. But yeah, these figures look awesome. Here, I'm going to bring up Kylo Ren again, a larger photo, just because his detailing is so cool. There's so many layers in his outfit, and his mask looks awesome. And if they do make him of light effects, then I could totally see him just doing the main blade and not the guards, but as a way around if it is too difficult. So
it's an issue. If you look at some of the art that came out with the release of the pack shots, you can see a shot of Kylo Ren, and you can actually see his lightsaber looks like it's more of a flame than an actual lightsaber.
Oh, really?
So the in-game looks like it's gonna have a different looking lightsaber for him.
Awesome. I'll try to get that up before maybe we can show that at the end of the show.
That's right at the bottom of the page that we were just on. On Infinity Inquirer, right? The last.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Here we go. Thanks. So there they are in game. Oh yeah,
looks so good.
Totally, that's awesome. And one of these is I can never think of his name. Not Ray. What's his name? Come on.
The pilot guy.
Finn. I want to say Lem. Lem, you made an awesome. Oops, is there show notes? You made an awesome figure of yourself today. It was pretty cool. So, people are saying they look cool, but they're sad that it was leaked. So here's the thing about this particular leak. It wasn't. It was intended to come out the same day. Yeah. It was just
Amazon beat the press release by a couple hours.
Yeah. So So, I mean, take solace in the fact of knowing that at the very least it was meant to come out that day. It just jumped the gun a little bit. And it was, so not a big deal. Not like some of the other leaks. So, all right, gents. Well, this next bit of news, I saved it for last because I've been told people are excited to hear our thoughts about this. This is coming at you from DisneyHolics.com, and it's talking about the announcement of Marvel Battlegrounds. So, gentlemen, I was not... I don't even think I was awake when this live stream was going on. It's happened at New York City Comic Con. Lim, I know you got a chance to actually watch the live stream. I'm not sure if you did, Lloyd, but guys... You did. Okay, so why don't you guys introduce this and tell everyone about Marvel Battlegrounds?
Okay. Lloyd, may I, please?
You can. Please? Yeah, waiting. Okay. You're vibrating enough.
Okay, Marvel Battlegrounds. I want to take you back to the old school Dreamcast days. If you have not played Power Stone, you need to go watch some gameplay of Power Stone 2 in particular, because this is a brawler game. This is a game I could actually play. This was a button mashing, everybody's your enemy type game. If they are moving on the screen, you get them. It's really that simple. But you could grab different power-ups and use those as weapons. You can grab crates and throw those at people, and it's kind of a top-down, but it moves around type deal thing. Oh my gosh, love this game. Fast forward a little bit in Lem's life where he's reading more comic books. Oh, I love Marvel. Marvel's awesome. Oh, look, X-Men. Oh, look, Avengers, Spider-Man. Yay. Okay. Now, I want you to take those and ask, will it blend? And you put it in, and you put it in Disney Infinity, and it's the best thing ever. I want this game. I want it now, but I'll wait because I'm patient and because it's not out yet, and there's no way I'm getting it early. But that's what Marvel Battlegrounds is. Now, you take all that, and then you put it into this press conference where there's people sitting at a table, and they're talking nicely about it. And then all of a sudden, they say, hey, you want to see some gameplay? And they do this thing where 4 people get in, and each person is playing for each section. All right? And if your person wins, you get a Hulkbuster. So people are, they're gangbusters over there.
The crowd's going insane. So yeah, the audience was split up into 4 groups. So each of the 4 developers that was playing it had a section of the audience. So the audience was going crazy. JV's doing like, oh, look at that. Oh, he slammed to the ground. Oh, the floor's electrified. And it's like, JV, you need to be the voice in the game because you're killing it, man. It was so good. It was so good. Sorry,
all the tweets afterward, JV needs to be the announcer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lloyd. Go.
No, I said, I'm sorry. I had to jump in there, Lem. I had to, to talk about JV. I couldn't wait until the end to gush about how awesome JV did. But,
yes. Oh my God. So we're sitting there and we're watching, and I was on my lunch break at work, and people peeking their head in the office because I'm like, oh. Like, oh, Lem's watching Infinity stuff again. So they beat him up. Finally, last person comes down, and it's fantastic. You can electrify the floor. So last person's in. They win the game, and everybody else's section is all upset. And they said, we're just kidding. Everybody gets it.
Oh.
Everybody gets a Hulkbuster. You get a Hulkbuster. You get a Hulkbuster. Everybody gets a Hulkbuster. It was great. As a matter of fact, we as a team are getting a Hulkbuster for photo and screenshot purposes. So one of our friends, Mark Wagner, his cousin went with him and doesn't play. And he volunteered to send that out so we can get some good screenshots and video for it.
That'll be sweet. That's cool. Here's a picture of Hulkbuster on screen right now, guys. Man, that sounds... I had no idea that's how the announcement went. So I'm going to definitely go back and watch that tomorrow because that sounds entertaining.
They had a huge panel. So they had some of the developers. They had some Marvel people. They had some DI people. And they basically just kind of went down sort of the announcement of what it is. So there's going to be multiple stages. So they showed off some concept art for Wakanda, a stage in Brooklyn Train Yard, and the SHIELD lunar base. They said that every single Marvel character will be playable in this game. All of the Marvel power discs will work inside of Battlegrounds. So you can have your team ups, you can have your weapons, you can use those while you're playing. It's 4-player, so how that's going to work is each player kind of takes their figure, puts it on the base to register it as your character, then you take it off the base. So you could have all your characters lined up, 4 people sitting on your couch, and it's like, boom, I'm Spider-Man, I'm Nova, I'm whatever, and you just put them down for a second. So instead of a selection screen, you actually select it by picking up the toy and putting it on the base for a second.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of other characters that are going to be coming out. Like they said Ultron and Hulkbuster, but there's going to be more. We can't talk about them yet. Leaks happen. Things we're not going to talk about on the show. But there's the new Captain America that's coming with this one. So they talked a lot about why we did this. So we had Captain America in the game already, but that's based on the cartoon version of Captain America. We wanted to really bring kind of the different characteristics of Cap from the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we worked on this figure, and it's going to be all different. It's going to have this, going to have that. So they really kind of broke that character announcement down because it was leaked right before the panel, and people were up in arms. And it's like, I don't want any repeat characters, and this is stupid, and Disney hates us, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of anger on social sphere of Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. And then after this Battlegrounds thing, that all kind of went away. They explained it away perfectly. Like, it's no different. It's a different character. The comic version is different, which is why in the comics you could have Amazing Spider-Man, you could have Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, you can have Spider-Man, you can have Spider-Man 2099, you can have Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider Pig, Spider-Ham. Like, you can have all these characters that are the same character, but they're different because they exist in different worlds. And in this one, now it's the difference between the cartoon version and then the Chris Evans character from the movies. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I hope they do other like in say 4.0, maybe bring back some of the other characters and kind of revisit them, with Spider-Man being in the movies now on the Marvel side of things, not the Sony side of things. I hope there's whatever they re-envision for the new Spider-Man in the MCU, maybe that'll become a figure down the road as well. So female Thor would be great as well. There's some other characters that are really great in kind of the comics or the movies, which would be nice to kind of have alongside all the other 2.0 Marvel figures. But yeah, like Lem said, like we were chatting before, we talked about it on the show before. I hoped it was more of a brawler, like side-scrolling brawler. Lem said it's going to be probably going to be like Smash Brothers. And then right before the event, I was like, hey, it's going to be like Power Stone. And then sure enough, that's kind of what it is. It is exactly a Power Stone game, except it's Power Stone mixed with kind of like a Dead or Alive brawler, where the stages can kind of blow up as you're fighting on them. You can send people through the stages and stuff like that. It just looks so unbelievably awesome. Like, this looks like an actual fighter. It doesn't look like a fighter built in the Disney Infinity engine. It looks like a fighter that just happens to play with your little plastic figures that you buy for Disney Infinity. I can't be any more excited for this. I was kind of, we'll wait and see. And then that presentation that they did just absolutely 100% blew me away, and I'm so stoked for this. I cannot wait for this to hit. Too bad it's spring. I want it tomorrow, but I guess we'll have to wait for our presents.
Boondoggle Man says that Justin says that the power discs are going to have different effects in the playset too than what they are. So
yeah, every single one is in there, but they all might do something a little bit different.
That's cool. There's special buttons that make the environment interactive and actually weapons themselves, which is really cool. Yep. So I'm not a Smash Brothers fan in general, but man, when Lloyd, I think the first thing you said to me when I asked you about this was Power Stone. I'm like, Power Stone. I never had that game, but I played the demo to death, and I rented it a million times. I don't know why I never actually purchased it, but I absolutely loved that game. And when I found out that's what this was, like bringing in my favorite characters in a unique and interesting way, but making the gameplay varied and different than how it kind of exists now, just made me so excited. I love how you put the figures down. I don't know why, but it makes me think of like putting your quarter on the arcade machine cabinet and kind of like
absolutely
saving your spot, except you're saving your character so no one else can be that character. Yep. I have a question for you guys, though, because Christopher at Disney Hawks and we talked about this yesterday as well. So at first, when I heard the news about this playset and what it was, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then I started to think about, because it seemed kind of restrictive to me. But then I started to compare it to Inside Out and how I really like the fact that Disney, the game itself, Infinity, is now positioned well enough that they can take these chances. They can try something different and outside of the box of what they've delivered so far. And so for that reason alone, I'm glad this is what it is, and that makes me really happy. The question I have for you guys, do you think the value add is going to be that of a playset? Or do you think that this could have been something that could have just as easily outside of the Marvel branding, if it could have just as easily been a Toy Box game disc.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think a playset makes sense because it's going to be released with 2 new figures. So this is going to encourage people to pick it up just to get the new figures. And then maybe they're not fighting fans. They're not people that would have picked up just a fighting game disc. Just like I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that aren't going to pick up Speedway because they're not a kart racing fan. Everybody should own it, though. If you own Disney Infinity, it is amazing. But releasing it as a playset for $35 basically says, okay, well, you guys, you're buying this, you get 2 figures, that's $30 right there. For an extra $5, you get this wicked fighting game. Come take a chance and have some fun with you and 3 of your friends. I think that's going to be good. But like you said, is it going to be a full fighting game, or is it going to be like akin to Speedway, where it's not like a full $60 kart racer, but it's perfectly affordable at the $20? That is the right price for it. I guess time will tell what it's really gonna be. For me, my biggest question is this gonna work in 4.0? Because I don't want to buy this just for 3.0 and then have to get something else or not play it ever again when 4.0 comes out. So I hope that playsets like this might, since they're not really a playset, they're a game that comes out in playset form, might start to be compatible with future versions of Disney Infinity. Just because I think there's going to be a lot of play in this one. There's going to be a lot of life in my house with 4-player Marvel fighting. Like, my kids love that. They love Smash Brothers. This is just going to be even better for them because they love Marvel characters.
Well, the thing is, you need an internet connection for this.
Yeah, because it's not on the disc, so you need to update. It's not
on the disc. It's an update. So, does this mean 4.0 is not necessarily going to be a new disc? Are they taking the route of Lego Dimensions?
I would like to say yes, but I think this is just them trying to fight against leaks. Because what happened with 2.0 is it came out, and within a few days, people have hacked apart the game disc and they said, oh, okay, we're getting this, we're getting this, we're getting that, we're getting this. Yay, we know all the stuff that's coming out. Hey, look at this Ultimate Unlock. We ruined the surprise right away.
Don't get me started.
I think they're taking, like, any extra content, they're not putting it on the disc, but they're requiring the internet connection to basically force people to then update it to play this. I wonder what it's going to do if you put it on like a vanilla version of 3.0 that's never been updated. Like, what kind of messages is going to pop up? I guess time will tell.
Yeah, that's a great thought, Lem. It's an interesting thing to think about. Is the game? I do not want to steal this. We're gonna have Christopher on in a couple weeks, and he brought this up to me yesterday, so I don't want to steal it from him. But he did mention the possible evolution of the Disney Infinity release cycle, and it'd be interesting if things started heading that direction with kind of the, as you said, Lem, the Lego Dimensions release schedule.
Right.
I hope they steal that right from Lego Dimensions, and it really isn't a 4.0. It's just a big content patch. But I think Disney likes selling $70 boxes on release day, so they can say, look, we made X number, hundreds of millions of dollars today. Our game sold really well.
Yeah, cool. Well, and that's also a great point. They kind of have had it where no playsets have been forward compatible. It's something that they've actively mentioned. If the sky's the limit and infinite resources, they would like to do that. They're working within constraints, both monetarily and technically, with the size restrictions of the games. But the difference is with this, Lloyd, is that these are different gameplay experiences. Toy Box Speedway, I kind of feel like, has to be continued if they want to continue kart racing. Just have those as like the previous tracks with the new and upgraded tracks. That seems like an easier sell to me than the Battlegrounds playset. But I think if they do one, they should absolutely do the other, because, like you said, you're going to get comfortable having that gameplay experience with your kids. Your family's going to become comfortable playing that game over the next year. And if they were to strip that out and not have a gameplay mechanic like that in the next version, that's going to be really disappointing.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's all about value. Like a couple things that they said at the presentation at New York Comic Con was we wanted to bring value. We using your characters again is good value. We wanted to bring value for your family, value. Well, start giving us value on these kind of one-off play sets, which are different games. That would be huge value moving forward. And I understand the engineering behind it is tough. But maybe if you don't want to have the play set forward compatible because you don't want to open that can of worms, just bake it into 4.0 then, where you have kind of the battlegrounds as a menu item where people can play. Because I know I don't like talking about Skylanders on the show because I don't really play Skylanders that much anymore. But the first 3 games in Skylanders, my kids played the main campaign with me. They had fun with it. But the next 3 months was them having battles in the battle arena mode of Skylanders. If that is part of Disney Infinity, and it's not just build a toy box and fight each other, but actually there is rounds and things that will blow up in the level and other stuff, hazards and whatnot. They're never going to want to play a game that isn't Disney Infinity because they love fighting each other. That is just like that is the most fun to them is to fight each other, whether it's Smash Brothers or whether it's in Skylanders. I would much rather them play Disney Infinity than some of those other games, just because I much prefer the IP that's in Disney Infinity. So if this does really well and is super popular, I hope that it's forward compatible or it comes out with the release of 4.0 in a new version or it's baked in, because I know this is going to be something that is going to be played in my house constantly.
Awesome.
Constantly, yeah.
That's cool. Cool. I would like to mention my thoughts, and I also want to hear your thoughts, Lem, on the variant discussion. So, Lloyd, you made some awesome points, and it sounds like Disney did a really good job of communicating the reason why. Lem, if this is a door opened up for future variants, is this something that you like? Are you excited about that possibility? It's been kind of a hotly contested kind of idea in the Disney Infinity community. So what are your thoughts?
I personally think it's a new character. It looks different. It's a completely different Captain America. Like Lloyd said, I mean, you've got all these different Spider-Man in the comic books, and you have people that go out and buy every version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I did that when they did the Heroes Reborn, Heroes type deal thing storyline, where it was, okay, all the regular heroes that weren't mutants died, but they didn't. They were somewhere else. I bought all these somewhere else, and then they had the, hey, we're back, but I still had this somewhere else. So I'm completely fine with that.
Cool.
I can't wait to see if they bring in like a MCU Thor. You know, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. The Avengers what is it? Avengers Assemble cartoon. And there's 2, and I can't because they had the one, and then Disney took it. And
now they have Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, which is actually really good, really good.
So they could take the Guardians of the Galaxy, because what we have is the Guardians of the Galaxy movie people. What if we take the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon? And as long as everything is different, if it's still Captain America, if the title on the box is Captain America is the only thing that's the same, the name on the box, I'm fine. Because it's a completely different moveset. He's got specials. He's got other things that go along with it. I'm getting it's like me buying a brand new character today.
Cool. Yeah, great points. I made the mistake of doing my only Periscope on vacation the day after this announcement released, and I didn't really stay too much on the news. I mean, I caught the bullet points when I was gone, but I was given a kind of a tour of the resort I was staying on, and JB in the chat room, he's like, all right, he's like, I know you're talking about vacation, but you got to tell me your thoughts on the variant discussion. And at the time, I really didn't have the opportunity to see where I landed, and honestly I still don't know if I'm there yet, but this was difficult because Cap is my all-time favorite character in 2.0. I loved him. He was a blast to play as, and this figure just blows the other character out of the water as far as the way they looks. And it could just be because he's a new character. I probably felt that same way when I first saw Captain America. But so I was kind of conflicted. I was like, well, I love this figure, but if I love this figure and I'm okay with it, does that mean I'm okay with all variants? And I really like where you guys are kind of your heads at in this, is if you're bringing variants, but the variants are brand new figures with their own sets of moves, their own abilities, their own gameplay, then heck yeah, then that's not a redundancy in my opinion. That is just an additional piece of something I already love. I already love Cap, so give me more Cap but different. I love Iron Man, give me more Iron Man but different.
I think in this case you have to stop calling it a variant, because it really isn't. A variant is a comic with a different cover but the same comic inside. This isn't a variant. It's just a different Cap. It's new Cap. It's not a crystal. It's not one of those which are true variants. It's not the glowing lightsaber variants, which just are the same character with a fresh coat of paint. This is a whole new character. So once if people would stop calling it a variant, I think that would maybe calm a lot of anger out there, because it isn't a variant at all. It's a whole new character.
Totally. Pretty Well, that's awesome. Actually, that makes me really happy to hear you guys say that and kind of bring up these points, because that's kind of a high note, and I'm pretty happy where you guys landed on that. So cool, gents. Well, that is the week of news. That's not the week of news. That's like the last 3 days of news.
Last year of news.
Yeah, in 3 days. So lots of news. Excited to kind of be back in the groove of things. I gotta ask you guys though, I still haven't had a chance to even play Rise Against. Are you guys enjoying that play set?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's great. Hunting Minox in the morning. Oh, it's great.
I love the smell of burning Minox in the morning.
That's a great plug, Lem. For those that don't know, you do Breakfast with Bad Gamer and you stream Disney Infinity Is it every morning? It's mostly
just about every morning.
Yeah. So I've been doing, today I did Speedway, and I try to do it around 6. Doesn't always happen. Yeah.
But you'll get at least a half hour of me failing that stuff.
Hey, that's all right. That's why they call you the Bad Gamer.
Oh yeah, I'm considering moving it, like getting ready for work beforehand, and then doing it at 7 before I have to go to work. So.
I gotcha. Cool, man. Well, no, those are really fun, and it sounds like people are really enjoying it out there. Finishing up, I think this is just a good point. I want to mention it. Prototype in the chat is saying they think of the new Avenger Cap kind of like Hulkbuster Iron Man in 3.0. It's just an entirely brand new figure. It's not something that we already have. So great point, Prototype.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up.
Well, I do have one little announcement.
Yes.
If I may.
What?
There is something that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. There is nothing that happens in the Midwest when it comes to Disney and Disney Infinity. We are getting something in the Midwest.
And tell them what that is.
I promised you guys I'm going to do something. Something was going to happen. October 31st at Best Buy in Appleton, Wisconsin, store 1047. You guys know I periscope from that store all the time. They have agreed to let Disney Infinity TV host the first Midwest DITV meetup.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So it'll be from like 11 to 3, 11 to 4, something like that, and we'll have a Speedway tournament. We'll have a building contest of some sort, and potentially, I don't know, we don't have Battlegrounds yet, but we'll figure something out for fighting.
Brawler Toy Box.
Yeah, Brawler Toy Box. We'll have the Toy Box people make the Brawler Toy
Ooh,
Box.
there you go.
And then the winning Toy Box from there is the one where people will have the tournament for brawling.
That's so cool, man. So that's just a couple weeks away, and you
Yeah.
do have some. First off, this is all you. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's DITV. It's we're all one. But man, you put so much hard work into this. Total props to you. It sounds like
Thank
people
you.
are really excited about that, and
Yeah.
that it's one of those things where New York. So you get the East Coast and California, and kind of mountains with Salt Lake City with Avalanche. But you're right. Nothing. You're always kind of left out in the Midwest, and so this is your opportunity to partake in Disney
Yeah,
Infinity.
just it's something just to give to the Midwest people.
Yeah, Lloyd, are you going to go to Southern Canada and attend this event?
I would love to. It is too short notice, unfortunately, for me to make
Yeah.
my way down. I will be there in Skype form, maybe. But yeah, it's also on Halloween, which is a huge holiday in my house. So I may only be available for a small chunk of time. But
If it goes well, we'll do another one, and Lloyd can come down.
yeah, we'll do the Winnipeg chapter of it.
There you go. Yeah, in all sincerity, this is, I think, something that we're hoping to kind of see where it goes, and something that we could do a little more frequently and in other regions as well. It's Lem is spearheading it, but Justin in the chat is saying the start of something really awesome, and he wants to do one in the Northwest. So absolutely, we're kind of hoping we can make something out of this, and Lem, you're doing awesome work, and stay tuned. For more details, we're gonna even try to make this one. There's gonna be giveaways and fun happenings and going on there. So it's gonna be a good time. If you're listening to this or watching this, you're interested in more details, you can either reach out to Lem on Twitter, or you can reach out to the Disney Infinity TV Twitter, and that's at Disney Infinity TV. Lem, what's your? It's on the screen there, but what's your Twitter?
Oh, it's Bad Gamer Official. So like Bad Gamer Official, just without the L, because Twitter doesn't like the L.
And you know who else doesn't like to spell your name correctly? Will. He thought you were the Hulk version because you were Bad Gamer Official with 2 M's. I fixed it though.
Yeah. Boondoggle Man says have a costume contest. That's something that I considered.
I have my costume.
Best costume winner.
Best costume ever. By the way, that was the highlight of the last episode, was your British Australian accent.
Yeah, it was terrible. I can do accents. I really can. But for some reason, when I whip it out without thinking about it on a podcast, it's like, I'm going through 5 dialects here. Woo-hoo. That's terrible.
Oh my gosh. Justin in the chat is Grinning Ezra, longtime listener, friend of the show, part of the Interior Squad, saying that Grinning Ezra will do a barbecue gathering, so everyone's invited.
Nice.
So, Lim, awesome. We will be plugging that each and every week leading up to that, and we'll be tweeting it frequently just to give people enough heads up and details. But that's awesome, bud. Congrats, and thanks for doing that. Kind of to piggyback on that, the team is doing Extra Life again this year. Still working out the deets on that, but the things will be finalized. We're kind of getting close to it. Things will be finalized on next week's show, which is going to be happening Monday. So in less than a week's time, next week we'll discuss that and tell everyone all about that and our plans with that. But some good things happening with that. Some good prizes to give away for donors and stuff. So excited to do that for another year. This is going to be our 3rd year doing that. Guys, you've been entrenched in Disney Infinity. I'm going to let you go have a break, which means you're probably just going to go play more Disney Infinity, Toy Box Speedway or something. Lloyd, thanks so much, man. Thanks for doing the show last week. Man behind the technical deets of that, and just always everything you do. It's good. It's been really good having seen your face again. It's been a while.
Awesome. No, it's been a heck of a lot of fun. Disney Infinity is just killing it with 3.0. So it's awesome to get up here and gush for an hour every once in a while to let people know how much I'm enjoying it. So it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on yet again.
Of course, man. And I think that might even be a little more frequent. So stay tuned on that. Lim, Bad Gamer, Mr. Up at like 4 a.m. every morning, either getting ready for work or playing video games. You're the only person I know who has like a 20-hour day and then 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and you are always happy. I wish.
It's a good time.
It's a good time, man.
How much Red Bull do you have in your house, Lem? Is that, do you pour that in your cereal?
I just drink a lot of water.
I want to know what they're
Hey!
So it's awesome having you back, man. Can't wait to see how the Midwest meetup goes. So it's exciting.
It's going to go phenomenal. It's going to go phenomenal. It's going to go phenomenal. It's going to go phenomenal.
Crystal Perry is saying Lem is life. Infinifan was giving you applause. Oh, Infinifan gave both you gents applause. So that's cool.
Thank you.
What is life? For those that have been asking, Jason is not dead or fired. He is neither of those things. He's just a big fat jerk and never wants to be on the show anymore. Now, that's also a lie. He is a big boy now, and he actually has a job. And so we're still trying to figure out how that's going to shape out in the grand scheme of the show. But he's still very much a Disney Infinity guru and part of the team and stuff. And he and I, we've been in touch, and we're going to actually talk about things this weekend. So he'll be back. Have no fear. He's still around. So, all right, gents, that's going to wrap up this week's episode. A great episode with lots of information. Thanks everyone who's been watching us live or who is watching us or listening to us after the fact. We hope you're enjoying this show. It will be posted real soon for those that, I don't know why I'm saying that. If you're listening to this, it's going to be posted soon. You know how it works.
the internet's hard, Will. It's okay.
The internet is hard.
It's very hard.
I was very afraid. It feels like I've been gone a month, but it's only been a week and a half. So, all right, guys. Well, you have a great night. Bye, everyone out there. We hope you're enjoying Toy Box Speedway and Rise Against the Empire, since both those are relatively new. See you on the internets for future Infinity stuff. I want to thank everyone, and until next week, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities.